Well, young man, we have a problem because you don't look like a very good prospect for diversion. You didn't finish school. You didn't finish the job for your dad. You just don't seem to finish things, and you get into more trouble. That just doesn't sound like a guy that's going to do very good on probation.
I have completed probation before when I was younger, before when I was under 18. It was like when I was 13 years old.
You ought to be able to have a job. Granted, you've made it harder on yourself by dropping out of school.
Yeah.
And you've made it harder on your job by beating up your employer, aka stepfather. Don't be in a moving automobile.
I'm not. I'm sitting out in front of my mom's house.
All right. State of Kansas versus Boyd Wilson Watson. Please announce appearances.
Your Honor, state appears by Devin Canfield.
Your Honor, Darren Patterson appear on behalf of Boyd Watson. Mr. Watson does appear via Zoom audio visual. Your Honor, this is a motion to revoke diversion. I would announce at this time that Mr. Watson will waive hearing, stipulate to the violations that are listed for purposes of diversion.
Mr. Watson, is that right, that you would stipulate that you have violated your probation as alleged in the motion?
Do you mean diversion?
What?
Do you mean diversion?
Yes, I do.
Yes. Yes, ma'am, I do.
Motion to revoke diversion. So you are agreeing that you did not pay as agreed, having a balance of $466 still owing, or at least at the time the motion was filed on June 7th of 2024?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you agreeing that you failed to provide verification of having completed the batterer's assessment and having completed any subsequent recommendations from that evaluation?
Yes, ma'am.
Is anyone making you give up your right to hearing to challenge this and making you stipulate?
No, ma'am.
All right. And you understand if you stipulate, you'll most likely be found in violation and would proceed to trial on stipulated facts?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I accept your waiver and stipulation is knowingly and voluntarily made. We'll proceed with trial on stipulated facts. Mr. Patterson, your position on that?
Judge, that the stipulated facts are contained within the diversion agreement, and we would ask the court to review those for purposes of whether he's guilty or not.
All right. Well, that refers back to the officer's affidavit, which the court does have in front of it through the court files. Reporting party was Daniel Lynn Lyman Jr. They reported his brother, identified as Boyd Wilson Watson, was out of control and hitting other family members. The defendant's mother was concerned about emails she'd received and the language used in reference to her. Watson started yelling and threatening. Watson started striking Smith on the side of the head. So it sounds like we have family members and battery. I will, and it was in this jurisdiction, I will find the defendant guilty as charged. Recommendations for sentencing, counsel?
Your Honor, I would ask the court to follow the recommendations that are listed on the second page. There are court costs of $158, court-appointed fee, the domestic violence fee, and a fine of $200. And I was looking for any underlying terms. I do not see them listed. So the
Other than the batterer's intervention?
I apologize. What was that, Your Honor?
The batterer's intervention that he didn't complete, apparently?
Yes.
You recommend that?
Batterer's assessment and a 6-month underlying suspended for a 12-month court services probation.
how about contact with this Daniel Lyman or the mother or anybody like that? Any recommendations on that?
Just a moment, Your Honor. I will check to see. I don't appear to have any victim impact statements, and it looks like all communications coming from my office have just been updates on hearings, and earlier in the case, on November 7th of 2022, the victim stated that he wanted to have contact with the defendant.
He did want to?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
If this courtroom trial has you hooked, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more intense trials and shocking outbursts. Your support means a lot to us. Thanks.
Okay. Mr. Patterson, anything?
Your Honor, we'd ask court to adopt recommendations, and I do not believe there was a no contact as a part of the diversion the past year. Everything's been fine, it sounds like, so we'd ask court not to make that a part of the probation either.
Very well. Mr. Watson, anything you want to say on your own behalf? You don't have to. Your attorney has spoken for you, but if you want to, I won't preclude you from doing that.
No, ma'am.
Very well. At this time, for the sole count of domestic battery, I will sentence you to 6 months in the Butler County Jail. I will give you a fine of $200, a batter's program fee of $100, court costs of $158, supervision fees of $60, and remind me where you work.
I was at my mom's house in Leon, Kansas.
No, remind me where you work.
Oh, I currently don't work right now.
Why not?
I lost my job about maybe 4 months ago, and I haven't been able to find a new one yet.
How old are you?
I'm 20.
Do you have a high school diploma?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
I dropped out when I was 16 when I lived in Oklahoma because some of the teachers were really rude, and yeah, and it's just some stuff I would rather not go into about my school, if that's
Now,
fine
let's
with
put that camera down right and see your whole face.
you. Sorry, I was writing down the numbers for the court costs and everything.
Okay. Now, I have to deal with rude people every day, believe it or not, in one capacity or another.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't just walk away from it.
Oh, I know.
And you can't just walk away from things either.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have a diploma. That probably does make it harder for a job, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What was your job that you lost?
I worked part-time with my dad, my stepdad, the defendant, William Smith, and we worked construction around El Dorado, but with my diversion stuff going on, I lost the job and everything, so.
What in the world did you do? What in the world was your diversion demanding that caused you to lose your job with your stepdad?
It wasn't really the diversion's fault. It was more that I didn't have a vehicle to get there because whenever I missed court the last time, like way, like I think it was the second time I had court, I ended up having to sell my vehicle to get bond money to get out of jail. And yeah.
I was going to say, domestic battery doesn't cost you a driver's license.
Yeah, no.
A driver's license, a valid one?
It's suspended right now, so I'm
Why?
not allowed. For a ticket in another state.
You live with your mom and your stepdad?
Yes, ma'am.
And what's the name of your stepdad's business?
I think it's JCL, if I believe right.
JCL?
Yeah.
What's that stand for?
Honestly, I don't know. It's a refinery company in El Dorado.
So it's not your dad's company. He's an employee of it, or does he own it?
He's an employee of it.
Okay. So as an employee of this, is it JCL or HCL?
JCL.
JCL. And your stepdad's worked there how long?
He's worked there for many, many years, but he's not working there right now. I know he got laid off because the refinery goes slow during certain times of the year. So he's over in Wichita right now working for I think it's either St. Wesley or St. Francis Hospital, doing the remodeling thing, or like the security thing, if I believe right.
And that's through his own private company? Does he own that?
No, my stepdad does not own it.
Okay, so when you said you worked for your stepdad, did he pay you, or did the company he worked for pay you?
My stepdad did.
Okay. Well, young man, we have a problem because you don't look like a very good prospect for diversion. Didn't finish school, you didn't finish the job for your dad, you just don't seem to finish things, and you get into more trouble. That just doesn't sound like a guy that's going to do very good on probation.
I have completed probation before when I was younger, before when I was under 18. It was like when I was 13 years old. And I completed that.
If you live in Leon, how are you going to get back and forth to probation appointments?
I will have my mom or my girlfriend.
Who's your mom?
Christina Watson.
And who's your girlfriend?
Cicely Richards.
How old is your girlfriend?
22. 22.
And they both have valid license?
Yes, ma'am.
They both have automobiles that are tagged and insured?
Yes, ma'am.
And are they used to packing you around, driving you around?
Yeah.
And this was your stepbrother that was the victim of the battery?
It was my stepfather.
Oh, maybe that's why you lost your job with him.
Probably.
Yeah. But he did let you stay in the house. He just didn't let you keep working for him.
Yeah.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. You may not have a job, but I think you're healthy. Is there any reason why you can't work?
No, ma'am.
You're healthy, you're young, you ought to be able to have a job. Granted, you've made it harder on yourself by dropping out of school.
Yeah.
And you've made it harder on your job by beating up your employer, aka stepfather. But rather than just off the bat make the taxpayers of Butler County house you, I'm going to try to make you take some responsibility and head in a new direction. I'm going to try, okay?
Okay.
It's up to you, because if you don't do it, you can go to jail for the balance of your sentence. So you can be the one that decides if you go to jail for the balance of your sentence or if you succeed on probation. I'm going to give you the maximum I can for this, which is 6 months. So if you fail on probation,
4 days. No, it was the worst.
can you admit 6 will be long?
Yes, I could, but not like it. I seriously do not want to go to jail. I will
You're not going to like what I give you for probation either.
I bet you I would like it more than the jail, though.
Well, we'll see. You're going to pay the $200 fine, the $100 domestic violence fee, the $250 attorney fee, the $158 court costs, the $60 supervision fee. Was there any restitution for damage or injury, counsel?
No, Your Honor.
If you're still with us, make sure to like and subscribe to keep up with more shocking courtroom trials. Your support keeps us going. Don't miss out on what's next.
I think that comes to about 768, but that's just a rough estimate. I am going to order that you get a certified domestic violence offender assessment, that BIP, Batter's Intervention Program, that you did not do as required in your diversion.
Yes, ma'am.
Why didn't you finish that in diversion?
It's because I didn't have a way over to Wichita.
All right, so are you going to have a way over to Wichita for probation?
Yes, ma'am. I will make sure that I get my mom or my girlfriend to have me take over there and to complete every single thing, because I do not want to go to jail.
All right, it's up to you, because I'm not going to mess around with you. All right.
I know.
Now, your probation will be for 12 months. You must call probation and start reporting as soon as this hearing is over. Their number is 316-322-4153.
What was the last four?
4153.
Thank you.
You're welcome. 12 months reporting probation. All standard conditions will apply, and they will go over there with you. No alcohol, no illegal drugs. You can be subject to testing for that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't hang around people that do those things.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm ordering that you get a job and you maintain that job.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, is that tire shop still in Leon?
Honestly, I don't know. I really don't go to Leon that much.
I thought you lived in Leon.
I live right outside of Leon. The highway that leads into Leon, that has like the
Prospect, formerly Prospect, I think they call it Blue Stem now.
Yeah, it's like maybe 5 minutes away from Prospect or Blue Stem.
Yeah, it connects 254 to 54 in Leon.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the road you live on?
Yes, I live on 95th Terror.
Okay, well, you're going to have to find a way to get a job. Maybe you can find an online job, answering phone calls, whatever you need to do. But you have to have paychecks regularly.
Yes, ma'am.
Paychecks. And you have to write a letter of apology to your dad, but you don't give it to him. You give it to your court service officer, and they will make sure it's appropriate to give to your dad. But I want you to think about why your conduct was wrong. And I saw you were inappropriate to your brother and to your mother. That's not acceptable either.
Yes, ma'am.
Then I'm going to order that you get a high school diploma.
Okay. Would the GED be the same as the high school diploma?
If you can't get a diploma, but there are online schools. Talk to your probation officer, and if they feel that you need to get a GED, that you can't get an online diploma, that would be considered. But a lot of those onlines, you can work at your own pace, and you can get as many hours in as you're able to. But you're going to get a diploma.
Yes, ma'am.
We don't need uneducated, unemployed people running around. Do you get food stamps or anything like that?
No, ma'am.
All right. Mom and dad pay for y'all? Mom and stepdad? Okay.
I count him more as my real father, though, because my biological father was never in the picture.
All right. Well, sounds like you're lucky to have someone that will put up with you.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you're going to make, how are you going to make these payments? Can you go out and, until you get your job, can you go out and pick up aluminum cans and trade them in, or what are you going to do?
What I'll do is either whenever I have someone take me to town, I'll have them take me with my mom's lawnmower, and I'll mow yards around El Dorado.
Have you done that before?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'm going to make your first payment due August 22nd.
Okay. And how much would that be for?
Well, that's what we need to figure out. It's $768. You're going to need a little bit of time to get going. You've got to pay for your alcohol or your Batter's Intervention Program. That's not going to be cheap.
And Your Honor, We would ask credit for any amounts that he has paid so far, less, of course, the diversion fee. Just, he may have paid some, I couldn't tell.
Have you paid anything at all on your diversion besides your diversion fees?
I think I have, but I'm not too for sure.
Well, if he absolutely any credit, if he has paid any, I've shown a balance of $466 on the computer, but he's going to have more to pay now. Yeah, any credit, but not credit for anything that was just diversion fees.
Yeah.
That high school diploma is big. You're going to get your driver's license back.
Mm-hmm.
Get that ticket paid. Again, you don't need to be out there unemployed, no driver's license, no education. I mean, what have you got going? You need to turn that around and turn it around right now, Mr. Watson.
Yes, ma'am.
If you don't turn it around within a year, you're going to serve 6 months in jail.
Okay.
Anything else we need to address, Mr. Canfield?
Your Honor, is the court setting a date the entirety of the case needs to be paid by, or is that the court?
Well, I'm going to order that he pay at a rate to be determined by probation, but at least $50 a month to start out with that to increase as he gets more employment.
Thank you, Your Honor. Nothing further.
Mr. Patterson, anything further?
Your Honor, did he receive the phone number for court services?
I think he did, but let me double check. Did you get the probation number?
Is it the 316-322-4153 number?
5136. Let's see, 322-41, no, it is 53. 4153.
Okay, yeah, I got that
I think
number.
that's right, isn't it, counsel? 4153?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Savannah.
Nothing further, Judge.
Thank you. Now, I am not going to accept any excuse for I didn't make my appointment because I didn't have transportation. I didn't make my appointment because my ride fell through. I didn't have any transportation because my girlfriend broke up with me. You get it?
Yes, ma'am. There won't be any excuses. I will make sure it gets all completed. And everything on my list that you told me to, I will complete that too.
Yeah, well, we'll see. And I may have to replay this hearing for you if you don't come through, because like I said, I'm not messing with you.
I know.
What have you been doing all day since you dropped out of high school and aren't working for your dad?
I mainly just help my mom around the house, like letting her dogs out, feeding the ducks and chickens, and taking care of like the yards and everything.
So
Because she, what was that?
that probably takes at the most an hour a day,
Actually, it takes a lot longer.
not more than 2 hours, surely.
It takes about 2.5 hours because she got about 3.5 acres of land, and
Okay.
we have to let out like 14 dogs. I will admit, my mom has a lot of dogs.
14 dogs. Well, 2.5 hours still gives you a lot of time to get into trouble or get bored or just do nothing. So you get busy.
Yes, ma'am.
Get busy and accomplish these goals.
Okay.
All right. We'll be in recess and you go call your probation officer.
Yes, ma'am.
This case wasn't just about consequences. It was a moment of truth. Judge Webster didn't just hand out punishments. She handed out purpose. But now, the clock is ticking. Will Watson rise to the challenge or fall back into old habits? Let us know in the comments. Was this the wake-up call he needed? Or will it be another wasted second chance? Thanks for joining us and witnessing this intense courtroom moment. If this trial got you thinking, be sure to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. Stay tuned for more gripping courtroom moments as we continue to bring you the most shocking trials. See you in the next one.